Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video, I basically want to talk about operations that you could do on strings. So basically the idea is strings, you can think of it as variables, and we know we could do variables. We could add variables, we could subtract, divide. So let's just see what happens when I try to do some operations on some variables. So for example, let's go back to the string that we had earlier, which is string word equals, let's make it hello. So let's say I want to add 10 to it. Let's see what that will do. Let's go ahead and compile it and run it. It compiled, meaning that it's a valid operations. I could add hello, and I could add two strings. I could add a string to something else, just like I could do in math. But let's go ahead and run it. So what it did is it took hello and it just added 10 to it. So it's like if I did 4 plus 4, which is in math that will equal 8. But in this case, what it's doing is taking hello and it's taking 10 and it's adding it, meaning it's combining into one big string. I could also get fancy. I could say hello and I could add world. So let's see what you guys think that will do. That will print out hello world. But let's see, I want to add a space. I could have a space here. So what this will do is this will basically say hello, and then it will add this string, but with the space before it adds the strings together. So meaning, let's run it. So it did hello world. This in Java is known as string concatenation, where you basically add strings to something else. I could get fancy and I could say my name is, and I could say Joseph. I could spell Joseph correctly. I don't know how to spell Joseph, but I'll just go ahead and do it for the sake of doing. I could get more fancy with it, but what happens if I had a subtraction right here? It's basically telling me a bad operand type, meaning in Java, it does not know how to subtract strings, meaning you can't also multiply strings because I don't even know what that will do. Like, how do you multiply two strings? Do you make it one big string or do you make this one bigger? Same thing with you can't divide two strings because that's just not possible. This is not math. Only math allows you to do that. Like the same way you can't divide somebody's name with anybody's name, but you could, for example, you could add your first last name, just how you have your first name, last name, middle name. You could add it together, but you can't like subtract names because I don't know how that works. That's only in math. But that's just basically the idea of string concatenations, where you could add one string to another, or I could say this. I could say 1 plus 1 equals. I could do this, and I have to close the string, and I have to add it. So whatever is in a string, here's what you have to remember. Whatever is contained inside the quotes is something that will be printed out, meaning its value will never change. And whatever is not inside a string, or this value could change. For example, I could have this 10, I could have it 30, I could have 40. So what this will print out is it will print out 1 plus 1 equals 2. I could also get fancy. I could say 1 plus 10. Let's see what this does. So whatever is here will be printed out no matter what, and whatever I add to it will be printed out. So in this case, 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's what it's printing out. So it's printing out 1 plus 1 equals, and then it's taking whatever you're adding it to, and you're just taking it and adding 2 to it. But here's the thing. If I did 1 plus 1 equals 10 plus 2, let's see what this does. 1 plus 10 equals 102. Huh. How's that correct? I'm doing it right here. 10 plus 2 is 12. And I do 1 plus 10. Sorry, I'm supposed to make this a 2. Sorry. 10 plus 2 is 12. Yeah, so basically 2 plus 10 equals 102. How's that correct? Why is it not adding these two, making it 12, but it's taking these and mushing it to make it 102? And that's where the idea of order of operations comes. So if you guys remember what order of operation does, it does addition to no, it does PEMDAS, but in this case we have addition. We do addition, and if we have addition and subtraction only, it does addition and subtraction from left to right. So in this case, it's doing addition all the way. So it's doing 2 plus 10 equals, and it's printing that out. And then it's adding. So here you add 10 to it. So that's equals 10. And then you're adding this to it. And now this becomes 102. So it's basically taking 2 plus 10 equals, and then it's adding 10 again, and then it's adding 2 to the same string. And so the final result of this will be a string. So for those of you guys who didn't understand, think of it like this. If you were in math class and you were doing this problem, what you would do is you would do 2 plus 10 equals, which is a string. You will take it as a string, you'll print it out as a string, and then you'll add whatever comes after it. In this case, since it's not in a parentheses or it's not something that makes it come first, you'll basically take a 10, add it to the string, and then you'll take a 2 and add it to the same string. So how this works is it goes 2 plus 10 equals, and then it adds 10 to it, so now it becomes 10. So now this whole final result is still a string. And now what this is doing is it's taking and adding 2 now. So now it becomes a final string. And remember, because variables are the type that we are storing in, the whole result still is a string. So then this becomes 2 plus 10 equals 10. And then now it becomes 102. Oh, sorry, let me go ahead and do this. So it becomes 2 plus 10 equals 102, meaning that 2 plus 10 equals 10, which was a string originally, and now we have to add 2 to it. We have to add 2 to the new string that was built based on what we added to it. I know it can be confusing because it's the first time you guys are seeing this, but you guys will get the hang of it throughout. But what I'm trying to say is, if you want to actually print out 2 plus 10 equals 12, you actually have to put it in parentheses. Because now what this will do is it will basically do the parentheses first, because parentheses always comes first. And so what now it will do is it will do 10 plus 2, which is 12, and then it will add it to the string 2 plus 10 equals to make a bigger string, which is now 2 plus 10 equals 12. So that's basically the idea of operations on string, known as concatenation, which you will see a lot throughout your programming career. This is basically a little intro. I know it can be confusing if it's like the first time you guys are seeing this. I didn't get it the first time I saw it, but it's a really cool idea that you could add strings together. It will basically make one big string. That's basically the operations on strings. I hope this video served as an introduction to that and that you were able to get the most out of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.